Kiflam, do you want to be happy and free from thought and know what goes on in the Epsilon program? Then watch this video. Welcome to our Game 613 and let's get into exposing exactly who the Epsilon program are. Okay, so firstly I want to mention that this idea of exposing who Epsilon actually are was first brought up by Robin Rams. So if you're not sure who Robin Rams is, his link is in the description below. If you actually remember him from a while back, he has a new channel, he's back on the game. You can go watch his videos and they are very cool videos. But basically what Robin said was that the Epsilon program is based on Unarius. Now Unarius, he said, was a religious scientist kind of cult to an extent, and religion, which is actually incorrect. They personally have put on their website that they are not a cult and they are not a religion, and they are actually more towards like a college for science. However, they are not an exact college because they don't give degrees or anything, they just teach people the ways of science. Now, what you're going to realise in this video is that's not 100% true. And the facts are that Unarius are very much linked into Epsilon, and I'll explain how in this video. But to a bigger degree and to more links, they are actually more based on Scientology. Now, I hope you enjoy this video and see for yourself that they are very much linked and it is undeniable. Enjoy. Okay, so let's first talk about the buildings in Unarius, Scientology, and obviously Epsilon. So we all know the Epsilon building, it's right near Michael's house. It's the building you see in the video being in the background there. And let's take a look at the Unarius building. So that one's kind of like a dumpy building, it's just like it's some kind of like what could be a shop that's been converted into obviously the Academy of Science for Unarius. And then let's have a look at Scientology. Boom, there you go. That is the exact same building. Well, not exactly, but it's pretty much the same building as in GTA 5. So that is the first thing there that shows to me that it is actually Scientology that they're more based on. So also they've got the sign on the roof, you can see that right up there on the Scientology building, and on this separate video right now you should be able to see the Epsilon sign, which is exactly the same type of placement, the same type of idea and all that kind of stuff put on there. So next I'm going to go into the alien gods of these cults or groups, whatever you want to call them. Obviously Epsilon, they have their own, and his name or her name is Kraf, spelled K-R-A-F-F. And this character is not meant to be shown. However, there is a thought of how this person would look, and as you see on screen now, this is not exactly who they are or what they exactly look like, but this is apparently a descendant of possible Kraft. So I keep saying Kraft as well, but it is actually Kraft. So this is a possible descendant of Kraft that you can see on screen right now, and do with that as you will. There was actually a guy in GTA San Andreas who you could actually find in the middle of the Baco Beyond, I believe it was, and he exactly looked like this guy, and he had like smashed up teeth and all that kind of stuff, so he just looked like a crazy hillbilly. But it's a bit crazy and you don't actually know what's going on with it. Then the Scientologists, they also will not tell you what theirs looks like, so I'll show you a picture from South Park and also a one that you can find on Wikipedia from, I believe it's Robert Kaufman's book or something. But basically the South Park one was featured in a Scientology based episode where Stan becomes a Scientologist and becomes head of the cult or whatever as well. It's kind of crazy episode. It's quite a good one though. You should definitely go watch that if you can get a chance. It's called Tom Cruise Won't Come Out of the Closet or something like that. But basically this is what they say he apparently looks like, and there's a crazy story which you can read on the actual screen right now. It's called Leaking of the Story, and apparently it was all leaked by Robert Kaufman, in his 1972 book Inside Scientology. So if you want to buy that, then feel free to. But I'm not really going to tell you to. But yeah, you can see a little picture of Xenu, which is their alien god, right there. And basically what he was meant to have done was frozen some aliens, thrown them into a volcano on Earth, let the spirits rise from the volcano, capture all the spirits, and then put them in tormented chambers or something crazy like that. I can't remember, but it should all be in this script right now. Pause the video if you want to read this, and if it doesn't actually come up clear enough, I'll put it on my Facebook or Twitter as well, and I'll link it in the description below. And finally, Unarius. Unarius. You do not have an alien, which is kind of good, because it's kind of a refreshing thing, to be honest. But they do have an Archangel Uriel, and I don't actually know what this is all about. It looks like something from some crap 70s music video or something. But basically, this woman here, she's called Ruth Norman, I believe, and she was the head of the Unarius group at one point, and then she became Uriel, and you can also see her face, well, her actual name actually is, on the UFO car, which I'll get into next. So as we all know, there is a UFO car in GTA 5, and if you go to the alien camp over in Blaine County area, then you'll see this car right here that's got the UFO on top of it, and it's got like a load of sun symbols, and if you look just underneath the UFO, you will see that it actually has the words "Welcome, Space Brother." Now this is a thing by Nikola Tesla, everyone known him as the Space Brother because of his vast information that he knew about Tesla coils and stuff, and they thought he must have been an alien or something from out of this world because he was so superior with his knowledge. So that's where that comes from. But however, if you look at the Unarius ones, then you'll realise that there's, say, "Welcome the Space Brothers" on the side of their cars. You can see that right there. And also, like I just mentioned a moment ago, on the front of their car it says Uriel, which is obviously that Archangel's name. Again, it's got the UFO on top of it, so there's not really much more I can say about this. However, it's quite an interesting fact that they added it into GTA 5. Right, so what we're going to go into next is the uniform and the things that these people wear. Now I'm going to start with Unarius, because they pretty much wear the most least resembling one. So as you can see in the picture here, there's like a guy with a chain. Now this is the same chain that Michael has in the GTA 5 Epsilon program. It's like a weird little blue ribbon with the gold medallion on the bottom. But I'll be able to show you this also in Scientology as well, so it's kind of not really linked that much. But also just kind of shows little hints there too. The main people who do wear uniform are the women of it. It seems to be when they have like these little Space Brothers parades or whatever they're doing. I don't know what they're doing in these pictures. But basically it looks like they only wear like proper blue robes or whatever when they're doing some kind of presentation or something. So there's no real uniform to Unarius, so I'm going to class theirs as just regular plain clothes, wear what you like type thing. And it seems to be only the people who, I believe they called them the suits in one of the videos, where them people who are at the top of it, like Ernest Norman, which I believe is the guy with the medallion, they're the only ones who will wear the robes and blue stuff during the presentations, and the rest of the people just wear the normal civilian clothes. Next I'll show you Christopher Marge. As you can see him right there in the background video that I've been playing. He stood there and he is wearing his Epsilon robes, his uniform that he wears, and as you can tell he's not got the chain, which is fair enough, whatever. But on Michael's, you obviously know he's got the chain. I'll show you that as well quickly on screen. There you go. And basically, he doesn't really seem to do much with it. It's got like the gold little chain going from his heart to his shoulder on the other side, going across his body like a sash, almost. He's got like an Epsilon belt with an Epsilon buckle on it. And basically, nice pale blue clothes with little white side bits. And I believe he has Epsilon logos on his shoulder pads. So that's basically it for the Epsilon uniform. And this one really does look a lot similar to the Scientology uniform. Now, I don't exactly know who wears uniform in Scientology, whether it's just the top people or the celebrities or whatever that are part of the Scientology program. But in this picture here with Tom Cruise, you can actually see him wearing the medallion, and he's on stage. I think he's in like a suit there with his Scientology medallion on. I keep calling it Epsilon. Sorry about that. But yeah, he's doing like some little thing there. He's having a speech of his Scientologist stuff that he wants to say and preach to the other people. So I do believe it is relaxed uniform there as well, where it is mainly civilian clothes that most people would wear. But there are people who get these medallions and stuff as well. Also, there is another picture. I am not 100% sure who this is, but I'm guessing it's someone very high up, because he's got like a proper kind of dark blue uniform on, almost like Chris Samage's, but in dark navy blue. He's got like a load of medals on his left hand side, and he has the chain with the little medallion on the bottom. And he also has that big chain going right across his body, from his heart area, around the side of him, and up to his shoulder. And he also has the little shoulder pads too. The only thing that Chris Samaj doesn't have that this guy has is obviously the medallion, but he also doesn't have the hat as well. So I don't know what's going on there, if that is an actual thing of Epsilon, or if this guy's actually in his army uniform, but he's got the Scientologist parts to it as well. I don't know about that, but it's just what I'm seeing. I would like to point out though that L. Ron Hubbard, the guy who runs Scientology, or ran it before he died, he actually is shown in a picture at sea wearing a pale blue vest with white sleeves. So this is obviously the Epsilon colours, and maybe this is like a little link in where Epsilon gets its colours from. Which brings me nicely onto the comparisons between Epsilon's Chris Samaj and Scientology's L. Ron Hubbard. Now, his name is actually L. space Ron Hubbard, because that's his name. It's not L. Ron, as in L. Ron, but whatever. So basically, he is the guy on the left of the screen, and the guy on the right of the screen, the animated character, he is Chris Samaj, as you should know from GTA 5, and possibly San Andreas, if you remember him from there. So basically, I think they look pretty similar. Obviously, Chris Samaj looks like a lot more of a younger L. Ron Hubbard, so there's that to focus on as well. They've pretty much got the same noses, lips, eyeline, and eyebrows. Even the ears are quite big and pretty similar in ways. And they've even, if you look at the top of the nose, they've both got little ditches in the top of the nose, and it's just way too similar. Obviously, they've both got a receding hairline too. Obviously, Chris Samaj's hair is a dark brown to black, and L. Ron Hubbard's on this picture is like a light brown to blonde, even possibly, maybe even ginger. I don't know, but basically, he could have had dark hair back in the day. But I doubt it, to be honest. But either way, it's Rockstar's version of him, so that is how I is going to see this. Okay, so now we're going to look into the logos of the Epsilon program on the left of the screen, and the Scientology on the right of the screen. Now, obviously, Epsilon is based around an E, and the Scientology is based on the crucifix or the cross. However, there is a few differences to the cross or the crucifix, however you look at it. It has like a weird X behind it, and that's kind of like a northeast, southeast northwest, southwest type of directions, like you'd find on a compass. And there is something quite interesting about the E, because you might be thinking it's like an E with an extended arm on each end, but it's actually also got a crucifix in it, or a cross, however you prefer to look at it, which I can show you on screen now. So there's half of it cut in half, and it's mirrored, so it makes that crucifix you can see there. And then if I underlay the Epsilon logo to it, you can actually see where it would actually be based in the actual Epsilon logo, which I think is quite cool. So they both have crosses, as you can see again now, as their logo, which I think is quite interesting, and proving, to me at least, that these two groups are based around each other. Well, technically, Scientology isn't based around Epsilon, but Epsilon is definitely based on Scientology. The Unarius, they do not actually have a logo as far as I can actually find in my research, so they can obviously not be included here. And if I were to find one, I'd actually have a look at it and maybe let you guys know in another video, or probably just on Twitter if it's something mediocre that doesn't actually link in at all. But for now, these two logos are very similar, and I think that's quite cool. Since we can't really link in Unarius as much as we originally wanted to or thought we could, there is some facts that Robin Rams did mention in his video that do stack up quite well to say that they are linked into this mystery. Now, as we all know, there is a cult in GTA 5 called Children of the Mountain, and they have a little shop by the beach where you can get information and leaflets from, and they also have an actual church which is based around it's Franklin's house that it's based near. And in this little church area, they've got like a little church garden and stuff, and this, that, the other, and it's a proper church. It's got all the logos and like services board and stuff like that. But what we did find was not that there is an actual division of Unarius that's called Children of the Mountain, but they did make a video or a short documentary film about their cult, which is a cult. Come on, gotta be honest. And that little film they made, which featured a guy flying off in a jetpack and aliens landing and this, that, the other, what they're pretty much their beliefs in a video form. That little video was called Children of the Stars. Now, what Robin Rams didn't mention was that these people obviously are an academy of science, and they like to look at the stars. They worship up to the stars because that's where they think the aliens are going to come from, to come down to Earth. However, because we, the GTA player, all look up to the mountain because that's where the Mount Chiliad mural is, maybe we're called Children of the Mountain because we believe in the mountain. Now, that could just be total bullshit, but to me that actually sounds pretty legit, because it's one of them things where they are parodying it in such a way that it is actually real, and it's funny because it's true. Because we are looking at the mountain mural with little bits and bobs all over it, and that is pretty much it. That is just how it is, and we are all looking up to that one little thing, and it's crazy, but it's true. That's how it is. So we are Children of the Mountain for that one reason, and that does link into Epsilon, because I believe Children of the Mountain are like a division or a sister cult to Epsilon, which I find pretty damn cool as well. One thing I did find quite interesting that both Epsilonism and Scientology are very well known for is kidnapping. Now, whilst Scientology isn't actually known for kidnapping, it is one of the things that have been implied quite a lot in the newspapers and articles, and there's quite a little bit of things that kind of link towards the proof, but without any proof actually given and no actual court cases against them. One as such, you can see on the screen right now, a lady called Valeska Paris. She told a paper that she joined Scientology Hardcore Sea organisation, signing its billion-year contract, at only aged 14. 3 years later, her stepfather committed suicide, and her mother denounced Scientology on French television. Paris was then ordered to disconnect from her family by the, obviously, Scientology people. She then she says that the church leader David Miscavige then enforced the disconnection because apparently she was having trouble disconnecting from her mother, which is understandable, to be honest, in my opinion, by having her put on a cruise ship, the Free Winds, that sails the Caribbean and caters to high-level church members. So basically all the high-level church members go on this cruise ship, and it goes around the Caribbean, so it's quite a nice area, to be honest. It's not really the worst kidnapping I could imagine. But apparently Paris was told she'd be on that ship for 2 weeks. Instead, she was held there against her will for 12 years. So obviously she would have wanted to leave Scientology as well. If her mother did, then I don't see why she wouldn't want to. Obviously there's reasons why her mother did that. So it's kind of crazy that they held her there for 12 years against her will. And the ways that obviously Epsilon have done their kidnapping was, if you remember, just before the game came out, Rockstar announced on the newswire that 5 people would be chosen to feature in the game. Now these 5 people turned out to be people that would be part of Epsilon, and it would be newly joined members that have gone missing. So basically the advert you should see on the screen right now says many have called but 5 have been chosen. We are currently preparing our truth seekers for indoctrination, I can't read that word, at our Los Santos Learning Centre. So basically they said, oh yeah, we got them, we're going to take them to our little sermons or whatever. And it's like, whatever. But these 5 people were actual real people, and I actually have pictures you can see on the screen right now of their actual real people and their character people. And I'll just cut to just the character people. They were Jesse from the USA, Joshua from Germany, Haley from the USA, Tiana from Australia, and Amir from USA. Now I think this is quite cool, but these people did go missing and they vanished, and it's a mystery. And I'm not actually sure if it's a mystery we can actually solve in game. I need to look into that a bit more deeper, because it's one of the things where I never actually realised where it is. I think I might have actually solved it on PS3, but I can't actually remember 100%, so I need to double check this and see if this is actually something we can do, because I definitely wouldn't have done it on PS4. So that is quite crazy stuff there, but we're going to now move on to books and propaganda from Epsilon and Scientology. Now, I couldn't really find anything much from Yanarius, so I'm going to give up on them just for the moment. However, I do have some big Yanarius news after this one. And basically, if you look on this little TV video thing that you have at the Epsilon program, there is an actual screen where it shows a book written by Christopher Marsh. Now this book is called We All Came From the Same Tree. Now obviously, as you will all know if you know a single thing about Epsilon, is that they say that trees talk but only some people can hear them, and then some people that can hear them are people in Epsilon. And not even all Epsilonists can hear them, it's only a particular select few. Now what I did find quite interesting about this is L. Ron Hubbard. He wrote a book called Scientology and the Fundamentals of Thought. And that book features a tree around the front cover. And it's like, okay, that's cool. But as we know, if you do actually do a Wikipedia search on L. Ron Hubbard, he also did discover Dianetics, which I'm not 100% sure what that actually is. But apparently it's something to do with modern science of mental health, because he wrote a book which is the same colour scheme as the Epsilon book, called Dianetics, the modern science of mental health. See, I told you that was that. Anyway, yeah, so this is kind of like the same kind of colours and tones, but it has the tree on the other Scientology book. So It's kind of crazy and quite cool, I think, that they have included this into the game. And I don't really see how this cannot be classed as good, substantial proof that they are linked. Obviously, like I say, Unarius does link in quite well as well. So well done for Roman Rams for adding them in and actually discovering that they are part of this. But the Scientologists, they just melt into it. They are literally like the same people, as far as I can work out from this. However, again, like I said, there is some big Unarius news. So basically, the beliefs of the Unarius is that the aliens will come back down in their spaceships and land on top of each other. And they have like this little weird pole that they're going to land on by the looks of things. I'm not 100% sure if that's actually true, but just how it looks to be from the picture you can see on screen right now. And then on these other little screens I'm going to show too, there's like one where the UFOs are just landing straight down on top of each other. I don't know if it's like the tracked beams connecting each other, but it's crazy. Apparently they're going to land in a field, and there is this one picture I found which I cannot make any sense of. So it says Uriel channels messages explaining science of Unarius. Science is based on fourth dimension physics, published in 13 volumes. Tesla speaks, and then such and such and stuff, and it's all crazy, and it's stuff like made up of 32 planets but out of balance until Earth joins, and we will need extraterrestrial help to become ready to join. So basically they're saying that we can't prove what we believe is real because it hasn't happened yet, and we need the aliens to help it happen. Which sounds a bit cultish to me, and it's crazy. But it says that underneath the little picture of Uriel, Alta, space scientist, planet Vixal. Now, one thing I'm thinking of is Alta is in GTA, and I don't know if that's where Michael got abducted from. I need to double check on that. But maybe there could be a UFO landing at Alta in Los Santos. I highly doubt that, to be honest, because it's kind of like a well-populated area, but you never know, it could be a bit crazy like that. Also, another place, as you can see in background, is the observatory. Now that's got a big pole, like on the picture I showed earlier, and maybe the UFOs could land onto that. I don't actually know, but anyway, I'm going to get into a summary of this video right now, and hopefully we can all make our own decisions on this and share them and make our own videos and solve this mystery once and for all, because it's taken way too long. So yeah, anyway, time for the summary. So the way I see it, in summary, is that Epsilon is the GTA equivalent to Scientology. Now, I can see how Unarius can also fit into this. They are like a subsidiary, so maybe they are children of the mountain of this. But also don't forget that there are cars in GTA, and that's an obvious given, but most of the cars in GTA are not based on a one real life car. They're based on like 2 or 3 different cars. Like, I don't really know what cars some of them are, but like you get your, say, Banshee, that's based on like a Viper, and I can't remember what the other car is, but it's based on 2 different cars basically. That's what I'm trying to make out the point of. So it wouldn't be too far of a stretch to say that Rockstar would parody 2 religions or beliefs or cults or whatever you want to call them into one in-game version. It's just the way they do things. It's like even the iFruit phone that takes the mick out of Apple, it also takes the mick out of Samsung. And obviously the drone phone that is basically ripping Android off. But they also have buildings like Life Invader. So Life Invader seems to be like Apple, they're making phones, but it also seems to be like Facebook, like stalking people and stuff, as it calls itself. So, in summary, it's an amazing little find by Robin Rams, that all this stuff. But to be honest, we all kind of knew it was Scientology all along anyway, since GTA San Andreas pretty much told us that, and the radio interviews you can hear in San Andreas pretty much point straight there anyway. So, it has been added recently into GTA 5's, so it was originally just Scientology, but now it's both. So it's really cool. And I hope we can find more information on this, and hopefully it will lead to a new find in GTA, whether it's a jetpack or whether it's a new UFO, or if it's just something small like a new car. I don't really mind. I wouldn't actually mind. I'd like just to find something new to play with on the game, which would be fun. I thank you very much for watching this very long video. If you watched the whole thing, please let me know, because that'll be an amazing thing, and I will thank you so much for that. It is a very long video, about half an hour long almost, if not over. So I will see you very soon. This one took a long time to make, so I'm going to have a little break possibly, and maybe get some new videos out soon. Also, I'll be doing some XXII analysis picture videos. I'll upload one of them hopefully tomorrow. And I thank you very much, and goodbye.